Are you going to Disney World with little ones? Well, this is the stroller video you're gonna wanna watch. Today on the channel, we are going to be doing a versus stroller challenge. So which one is going to be best suited for you? Is it going to be the tandem, the front to back stroller, or is it going to be the side by side? If you guys are new here, welcome. This is Whitney with Faith, Trust, and Christ. We hope you guys are having a great day, and if you have been on this channel a while, welcome back. We are so glad you have continued watching us. So if you are thinking about taking a stroller to Disney World with your toddler, and you definitely should, highly recommend it. I honestly recommend taking a stroller up until about the age of 8 or 10, or until you honestly think your little one is going to be able to handle all that walking. But anyways, today's video, we are going to be talking about which stroller is going to best suit your family. Is it going to be the tandem stroller, or is it going to be the side by side? So a tandem stroller is one seat in front of the other, or a front to back stroller, two seats right in line with one another. Here is our Agio Z4. If you would like to see a stroller review on it, I have it on our channel now, and I'll have the link down below. And then a side by side is literally what it sounds like. The two seats are right beside one another. So the footage of the side by side that you are seeing right now is from our May Disney trip. If you'd like to see those vlogs, they're now on our channel. I will say that we do recommend, if you're planning to rent a stroller, rent from Kingdom Strollers. They are a great company, great quality strollers, and we highly recommend them. And they also don't just go to Disney. You can rent them for Universal, SeaWorld, Legoland, everything around Orlando. They even drop them off, your stroller off at Disney, at any of the parks, as well as Airbnbs. When you are doing your rental form, you just tell them where you would like it delivered to, give them the address, and they will take it from there, and you'll see it at your destination when you are ready for your trip. So we are going to break down pros and cons for the strollers. So starting us off is the pros for the tandem stroller at Disney World. The tandem stroller. A tandem stroller is going to be a lot easier to maneuver in and out of crowds, going through stores with your little ones, going through doorways, as well as going on transportation on the monorail, the Skyliner, and some ferries. You don't have to break your stroller down, which is really nice. You can just push it right on in. And so those are some of the pros for a tandem stroller at Walt Disney World. So the pros for the side-by-side, if you have a toddler or a child that is walking, they can climb into the side-by-side by themselves. We have the tandem stroller, so my little girl can't get into her seat. She typically sits at the top, so I have to pick her up. And she really liked that about the side-by-side on our May trip, that she can go ahead and climb on in to the side-by-side. So another great pro about a side-by-side is they are not as top heavy. You can add a lot more weight to them things, and they are not going to tip over just because of the balance of the side-by-side. So a pro for side-by-side on transportation, for the monorail, you can just push it right on in, as well as the large ferries. Everything else, you are going to have to fold your stroller up. So another thing that we found on our May trip for the side-by-side stroller is that the basket was huge in comparison to our tandem stroller, as well as we could access it from different sides, pretty much 360 degrees at any point we needed to get into it. And I do know that it's not on all side-by-side strollers. You can lift like the seat up for the stroller, but you could easily get it on the other three sides, which was mind-boggling to me. That was amazing, because on my tandem stroller, you can get it from three sides, but it's not always easier. And so things kind of get shoved up to the front where my little guy sits and where he would sit with the basket. Things get shoved up there, and so they're not as easily accessible. Whereas with the side-by-side, we could access anything that was in there at all times. So now let's talk about the cons of the tandem stroller and the side-by-side. So cons for the tandem strollers. I'm about to admit something, and Davey would be very proud of me for actually getting it through my brain that it does happen. If you are not a minimalist like myself and you add extra things to your tandem stroller, it can be top heavy. So you have to be careful with that, and you have to almost do a balancing act. My kiddos know I have to get my little girl out first, and then we do a balancing act. My little guy gets out and I put the stroller, the diaper bag on one of their seats, move shopping bags. If we have any shopping bags, we do a balancing act. This is not always the case. If we don't have like shopping bags and I have everything loaded on it, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But if I have shopping bags, we've done a big trip, we go to the Emporium, it's top heavy. And if my diaper bag's on it, it's top heavy, because typically my diaper bag is heavy. So I have to just be careful with that. We know that. We honestly added a little weight to the bottom of the front of it just to kind of help balance with our tandem stroller. And so that's something that we did to help, but that is a con. And I have to admit it, after using a side-by-side in May, the thing, we loaded it down, you guys, and that thing did not tip one time. And my dad was like, Whitney, and I was like, I have to admit it now that ours is a bit top heavy if we load it down like with shopping bags or other things, accessories that we bring to the parks. So just something to know. It may be a con, it may not for you. If you don't load it down and you are a minimalist, you're ready to go. But if you're like me, just be aware. So another con, it's not necessarily a con for us for our tandem stroller. A lot of tandem strollers, there's more than one mechanism to fold it. So that can be an extra thing that you may not like. That's just something to note. It may or may not be a con for you and your family. Also, that is a con for my dad and Davey. That's not a con for me, but that's a con for them too, because they absolutely hate folding my stroller. They do it, but they don't like it. Side by sides, the cons. Doorways and shopping is one of the cons in May that I absolutely hated. Yes, that stroller fit in through the doorways. Yes, we were able to do some shopping, but it is Disney World and it is crowded a lot of the time, the majority of the time. So you having to be patient and waiting for the whole doorway to be clear so that you can push your stroller in is sometimes annoying. And I will say, going through a tight store, that's annoying because you have to have different routes. You have to find another route instead of a tandem stroller where you can just breezily go through aisles, kind of get yourself in and out, going through doorways. You don't really have to think about it, as well as crowds. You guys, you kind of get stuck behind with a side-by-side and you can't maneuver in and out of crowds as easy as a tandem stroller. And I wouldn't have known that if I had just had a side-by-side, but having my tandem, my Agio, it is so much easier to move in and out of crowds. So I will say that that is a definite pro for me for the tandem stroller, just because we can get in and out quickly, especially in Disney World. When you're trying to leave at the end of the night, you are just weaving and trying to get out of there. So another con for the side-by-side is the majority of transportation, you are going to have to fold your side-by-side, your stroller up. Buses, you do have to fold every stroller up, as well as most boats other than the large ferries, you have to fold it up, as well as the Skyliner. Skyliner, you will have to fold it up, but if you have a tandem stroller, you can push it right on in. And then of course the monorail, either side-by-side and the tandem stroller, you can push it in as well. So a pro tip from me to you is when you get to your transportation and you know you have to fold your stroller up, go ahead and do it. Even if that transportation option isn't there, go ahead and do it. It's gonna save you a little bit of a headache and it won't leave without you. So go ahead, fold it up and be prepared. So you may be thinking, what would be our preference? And honestly, for me personally, I love our tandem stroller. You can easily get in and out of crowds at Disney World, weave through them, go through stores. It just makes it a little bit easier and a little bit less of a headache. And I personally would choose the tandem stroller. Now, if you would talk to my dad, After May trip, he was like, absolutely, side by side all the way. He said because it's easier for the kids to get in and out. He loved how easy it was to fold. He didn't have to think about it. He really liked it. I like that part too. But he would prefer the side by side. So honestly, it's up to you all and your family which one would best suit your needs. I hope this video has been helpful to kind of give you a little bit of glimpse of both sides and help you to figure out which pros and cons would work best for you and your family. If it has been helpful, we would love for you to like and subscribe, join our community. We do lots of Disney and travel vlogs around here, and we'd love for you to stick around. We hope you guys are having a blessed day, and we'll see you real soon.